Hey guys, Jimmy today. As you can see, we have a new update from Llama Train Studios. This also is introducing the various types of Loomians that you'll be able to find in Loomian Legacy. So, and also this was tweeted out by Roball. Pretty sure he is a dev for Loomian Legacy, and he was for Brick Bronze as well, and also just a ton of other stuff. But as you can see, we have confirmation of all of the types. There may be more, we don't know, but we're going to guess that these are all of the types in the game. So let's start things off then. So also, I have Brick Bronze open up here as well. So we'll be able to check that out. So anyway, straight away, we have fire, water, and plants. So those probably are the three, well, those are probably going to be like the three starter types. Also, we know that we already have a fire type starter, and we already know that is Embit, I think it's called. Absolutely bad at remembering the names. Water. Instead of grass, we actually have plants. Next up, we have light and dark. Also, dark we've had in Pokemon. Reason why I'm going to say Pokemon is just so you guys can like reference them from each other. So there's going to be some similarities, but I don't think everything will match up perfectly. They might have changed something more. Like, example, electric might have more than one weakness. Not really too sure yet. But as you can see, we have light and dark. Also, light is a new type that we haven't seen before, although we could speculate about that in a second. We have ice, electric, and air. Also, ice and electric are in Pokemon. Air is probably just flying. Then we have bug, earth, which is a new type. Probably going to be ground, although it does have a picture of a rock as well, so it could be either one, which also we can get through all of these first. Then we have Toxic, also is poison, but hey, I think I've got to run Toxic as my main type, but we also have Metal, but I love my Metal type Pokemon, so I'm 100% going to love the Metal types for Loomian Legacies. Next up we have Ancient, new type, could be Rock, could be Ground, as well as also Earth and Earth, so these might be like Rock and Ground. We have Spirit, which also is Ghost. I would assume. Then we have Brawler, probably fighting. Mind would probably fall under Psychic in comparison. And then Type Plus would probably be also a comparison to normal type. So then, if you didn't keep count while we're going through there, there's only 17 types in here. If we look at Pokemon, we actually have 18. So that means that we are missing a type from Pokemon. Which either means that we've completely lost a type or something else. So then, like I said, the ones that we can see that also, there's no fairy, there's no dragon, there's no rock, there's no grounds. Am I missing anything? I think that's it. So there's 4 types that we don't really see, but could also have been name changed. So I would expect that Earth is probably going to be rock or ground. So, and then again, so could Ancient. But again, if we were taking the lows off, we can see. But I would expect that Light is probably going to be the fairy of this universe. The reason why we can say that is because also once fairy type in Pokemon was being released, people did speculate it would be a light type. So we can speculate that Light is probably like the fairy-esque sort of thing in this universe, so it's going to be interesting to see what affects what in this. Either light or dark could be super effective against each other. So not really too sure which way it's going to go on that. It's be pretty interesting to find out. And then from here, we can see that Ancient, if we just zoom in a little bit, okay. Ancient, I don't think it's going to be either rock or ground. The reason why is because if we look at Earth, it shows a picture of a rock. But I don't think it's going to just be a rock. I feel like Earth is going to be a mixture of rock and ground, which is why we lose a type, which also means that Ancient would probably be the dragons of this. But instead of just dragons, I would expect ancient beasts. Now the reason why, obviously, is if you look at the picture, it's not a rock, it's not a piece of land. it looks like a beast's head with horns. Mainly why I think it would be the Dragonesques, which also isn't just dragon, which is just pretty dumb to be honest. It's just completely ancient, so all like the ancient mythology and stuff like that would probably fall under the ancient type. So like for like I said, for ancient mythology beasts would probably be for this. So I feel like the type that we either lost would probably be rock. It does show a picture of a rock, but because it's Earth, I would expect it to be ground, so I'm guessing that we lost the type rock, or that it was that rock and ground became one type, which wouldn't be too like different, because I'm pretty sure other Fakemon games have actually done the exact same thing, and they've also turned fairy into light, so we can definitely see that. So other than that, we pretty much have all of the other types, but like I said as well, because there has been so much changes to them, like they've also had their names adapted, and then also flying is air, ghost is spirit, which won't really make too much sense, which doesn't really make too much difference, and types is just normal. So we can definitely, I feel like there's definitely going to be some type differences, or what's good against what is probably going to be changing. For example, also we can expect that because there's no fairy, also metal might lose one of its like super effectiveness against. Also, we lost rock, so metal's no longer good against rock. So I can definitely see metal not being super OP like it was in Pokemon. If you don't know what Generation 3 Pokemon was, metal was stupidly good. The reason why I say that is because Metagross. Now, also, my favorite Pokemon is Metagross, but the reason why is because in Pokemon, Metagross had two weaknesses: fire and ground, and that was it. Now, if you're wondering how it got its Ghost and Dark weakness from, also from the Psychic, but Metal used to resist Ghost and Dark. I don't know why it did. It didn't make any sense, but it means Metagross got two weaknesses in Generation 4, I think, where also Metal lost the, or Steel even, lost the Dark and Ghost resistance. So definitely is kind of cool to see that Metal isn't going to be like this super OP type, I'm guessing, because also like we have Earth, which we're going to expect could either go against Metal, or Metal could go against Earth, depending on if Earth is meant to be ground or rock. But looking from the rest of them, we can't really expect too much, really. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you off the top of my head what is super effective against what. And even in Pokemon, I can't remember off the top of my head too much. But I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, it's gonna be pretty interesting. So it's gonna be kind of cool to see what actually affects what. I feel like there's definitely gonna be some changes. Will it be a lot of changes or whatever? Not really too sure. They could completely flip the board and like only a couple of things are super effective against each other from Pokemon. Like obviously, also we know that the types are probably gonna go the exact same. Whereas fire is good against plant, plant's good against water, and water is good against fire. That cycle's probably going to continue. We could probably expect that bug will be good against plants. It's also because bugs eat plants, and also fire would probably be good against bug and metal. Again, ancient is going to be a tricky one, because if it is meant to be the dragons of this form, then no idea, to be honest, no idea. Because dragons in Pokemon were pretty dumb, to be honest. They were only super effective against themselves. Dragon could only hit dragon super effective, which was a pretty bad move, to be honest. It did resist like the starters. I wonder if Ancient will do that again, but I feel like they might expand that, and Ancient might be good against some other stuff. That it makes more sense. Dragon was a really dumb thing in my opinion in Pokemon. But other than that, can't really say too much, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Let me know down in the comments down below. What will your favourite type be, do you think? Or what specific types do you think will be good against each other? Because, I don't know. Right now, like I said, from the Pokemon days, coming over to Loomian Legacy, I feel like Metal and Toxic are probably going to be two of my favourite types. But that'll also depend on what monsters look like with these types, so I can't actually wait. ancients. We could see like some mythology from all over the world. I think it's gonna be pretty cool that they're gonna be using ancient instead. And again, they could also just make up their own mythology, which will be really cool to see. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty cool, actually. So, I actually can't wait for this. But anyway, that is where I'm going to leave it off. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. And like always, I'll see you guys next time.